Destroying Destiny. Book 1. The Westerfish. Chapter 1. Emperor Dad. Our story begins at a small park. That is, if a barren field of dead grass with a slanted wooden table is considered to be a park. The heroes of our tale are playing an intense game of tag with a few friends. They laugh and giggle tauntingly at the tagger and are completely unaware of the large man intently watching them from afar. After a while of the great fun, the friends sit down at the small wooden table. There are 6 occupants at the table. By name they are Gertrude, Pancake, Steve, Ginge, Wally, and Farticus. 3 of them are our heroes, the boy, the girl, and the backpack. Now, Gertrude is an average guy. He has crisp blue eyes and an uncorrelated array of freckles and moles on his body. Upon his head sits a gorgeous forest of well-kept, bushy black hair, and a smile always finds itself on his thin, chapped lips. Beautiful and charming, vain and arrogant, average in height and small in weight, Gertrude is the boy in our hero trio. Sweet are the dimpled cheeks of Pancake, our female protagonist. Blonde and brown hair fall to her shoulders, and a sugary layer of, sugar lays on her face with splendid white grains, for she is descended from the rare race of the land of candy. Yes, there is a land of candy in this world, but don't get too excited, because only weeds of black licorice have been growing there as of late. Pancake, unlike Gertrude, is not average in height. Instead, our girl is short with adorable stubby fingers and a little pudgy. Don't be fooled by her sweetly described sugary description, for she has the spice of cinnamon stalks. So, you've heard about the boy and the girl. Now let me describe Steve, the backpack. Steve is a backpack. Surely you've gathered that by now. He has 5 compartments, each with zippers, and he is splendidly mono-colored gray. At first glance, Steve is your average named backpack. Although, Steve is not just a named backpack, but an animate one. You may be asking, how does an animate backpack work? It is simple, really. Steve speaks through 3 of his zippers. The larger the zipper is, the lower and louder the tone. And the smaller the zipper, the higher and quieter the tone. To hear, there are 2 small side compartments near Steve's backside that open and close to whatever degree he needs them to. Smelling is utilized by his smallest compartment, on Steve's front side. Now to see, Steve doesn't have a zipper for that. Steve is blind. The other 3 people sitting at the wooden table, Ginge, Wally, and Farticus, are of no utmost importance at the moment. But don't be too upset for them. I'll give you something to go on. I will say Ginge has red hair, Farticus has a funny name, and Wally is not worth describing. Onward with our tale. A short distance from the 6 friends stands a large, quiet man called Emperor Dad. Large is his bare stomach, and hairy too. A purple robe clothes his shoulders, an elaborate crown adorns his head, and his light velvet pants dance in the wind. Dirt and grass speckle his whole body and attire, for he is a Clark. Clarks are a humanoid, capable of standing, but unable to walk, so they simply roll everywhere. Their stomachs, though calloused and hairy, are legendary for their magic. If any other race touches their stomachs, they become transfixed by it, consumed by the thought of it, and never leave the Clark. Who would have thought rational beings could become completely absorbed in watching something for hours on end? Anyways, because the entranced touchers of the Clark's stomach worship the belly, they enslave themselves to the Clark's command, wishing every moment just to touch the tummy again. Due to the Clark's power, there are leaders in any society, but even the Clarks have their leaders. A monarchy rules them all, and at the head of this monarchy is Emperor Dad. Emperor Dad had recently become fed up with the rule of Dark Lord Jane, and had decided in haste to find warriors worthy of defeating the one known as Destiny. At first, Emperor Dad had sent out his lowly clerks, but to no avail, for they always brought back people of high esteem. Dad was no fool. To find the truest of warriors, one must go to the smallest of peasants. For many of the people in power, even himself, were guilty of arrogant and haughty defaults. No, to find someone worthy of Emperor Dad's self-proclaimed prophecy of a chosen one, he would have to go to the weak for strength. So here he was, the emperor of all clerks, watching playful children as they chit-chatted. Yes, he will do nicely. I know that red-haired boy will be the perfect leader. He looks pleasant enough for the job, peasant enough for the job, spoke Emperor Dad to himself. But how to go about asking him to help? Surely I can't just go near him and simply announce that he is the chosen one, the one rumored to destroy Destiny and finish the Horizon War. Emperor Dad scratched his monstrous belly and patted his big head as he thought. Soon after, a small burp left him, and a big idea came to him. Ah, yes, I know. I will write him a letter. Surely parchment is not too sophisticated for a peasant such as he. Dad pulled some paper and a quill from his robe's pocket. Oh, but what to say? Moments later, the letter was written, and just as Emperor Dad was about to roll over to the table, he realized one flaw in his plan. If randomly telling a kid that he was the chosen one was a bad idea, then how was rolling over to a peasant child and handing him a piece of parchment telling him that he was the chosen one any better? With some quick corrections and a couple more parchments written on, Emperor Dad had created the perfect plan for retrieving his chosen one. Yes, he would fold up one of the parchments into a paper airplane, throw it at the child, and quickly roll behind a very strategically placed boulder. From there, Dad could watch the boy's reactions to the written message. Emperor Dad tested the wind with a lick of his finger. Yes, it was perfectly blowing. Perhaps Destiny wanted himself killed. Or, more likely, Destiny was too busy with weather in other areas to take note of Emperor Dad's airplane. With stealth, the ruler of the clerks tossed his masterpiece into the wind and rolled behind his rocky cover. He watched his plan hatch. Ow! Said Jin.